Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about storytelling and adoption psychology. This is for my final project. Adoption trauma is often called the forgotten trauma, since not many people know about it. It isn't something that you come across every day, but it is common amongst adoptees, especially those who are internationally adopted from another country, or interracially adopted from a different ethnicity or race than you. The problem with this is that they often have to leave their culture behind, and they often leave the language of their biological family behind as well. There's often many questions that they come across in their day-to-day lives, and this haunts them. This is so accurately portrayed in Jonathan Edwards' song, Johnny's Coming Home. Jonathan used his past to help him navigate through his trauma. In his video, he claimed that he filled many journals with the feelings and that he faces as an adoptee. In this way, storytelling is used to heal past hurt trauma that adoptees go through. Arts often help an adoptee heal from the past trauma that they face when they don't have the words to express themselves. According to Clark, narrative therapy is a style of therapy that helps people become and embrace being an expert in their own lives. In narrative therapy, there is an emphasis on stories that you develop and carry with you throughout your lives. Very well-mined Clark. This type of therapy allows the client to speak in depth about their situation and helps them to see factors that have influenced their stories. The approach is especially helpful for those who feel overwhelmed with the feelings that they have as an adoptee and they go through in their everyday lives. The client learns to speak their truth and uses their truth for the betterment of themselves. It is common for parents of an adopted child to tell their stories on the journeys they went on to find the child. For example, my parents have often talked about my adoption and my brother's adoption from Russia. Some of the stories that my parents have told me was that my brother and I were in the crib diagonal from each other in the orphanage, and we used to blink and we had our own secret language, basically, what they explained. And another story is how my father would not stop talking about how he would be a good father and he couldn't wait to be a father. And it was time for the judge to go to lunch, so in Russian, the Russian translator translated, "Will he ever stop talking? We have to go to lunch." It's a little things like this that helps the adoptee feel that makes their story real. When talking about adoption, narrative therapy technique involves the parent telling stories to the child that helps them feel as if someone else were going through the same struggles as they were. This is done by making up characters that face similar situations to the adoptee. As the story progresses, they talk about the character and how it overcomes their struggles. Careful observation by a therapist really helps in this situation and in this therapy technique. Claiming is another technique used in narrative therapy. This is when the parent tells the child and claims to the child how they would have been raised from birth. This clears away any assumptions and leaves the child to draw conclusions of their own, which is more healthier than their original conclusions, oftentimes. The success narrative talks about the parents' hopes and dreams for their child as they grow and learn new things. The trauma narrative is used instead of the success narrative and helps the child to know that the parent understands their trauma and that what they are going through, they're validating what they're going through, basically. This approach helps the child to heal from the trauma that they have faced, and they are allowed to move forward. In conclusion, there are many creative ways to help a person heal from trauma that things that they went through in their past. These are just some of the techniques that therapists use to heal others and become comfortable within themselves.